I see you prefer the company of Vernon and his men.
The soldiery in Henselt's camp looks at me like I'm a lump of rotten meat.
You think they suspect you of being a spy?
Who the fuck knows what's in their bloody heads? You know what? I regret I'm not a spy. I feel like the last bloody cunt here. Somewhere nearby, my brethren are sharpening their axes, just waiting for the fog to dissipate so they can blunt them on some kid when he necks.
All rested after the boat trip?
Don't remind me of that. My stomach churns at the very thought.
You could have traveled here on foot.
If I'd known it before days of rocking, I would have. And if they told me I'd be eating dried and salted cod 3 times a day, I'd have clobbered myself with my own hammer before boarding that boat.
You're spending all your time in Roach's camp. Have you two become chums?
Chums? That's a bit rich. But he doesn't piss me off as much as he used to. Either he's changed or I've grown accustomed.
Maybe both.
Maybe. Besides, the camp has loads of other attractions. Men cheat me at cards, and there's a tit or two to hang the gazer on.
If that's what you're after, there's a regular whorehouse in Henselt's camp.
How can you compare a whore's tits to Vessie's? I could buy myself the others, but hers are just to be admired.
Something's brewing.
Greetings. How goes it, Witcher? Welcome.
His mother comes and tells him, the elder and the recruiter are coming for you. He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes a pig's eye and puts it between his buttocks.
He does what?
Puts a pig's eye in his arse. The elder and the recruiter enter, and the mother says, "Son, they've come to take you to war." And he's standing with his back to them, his pants down. He spreads his cheeks and says, "I can see that."
Did they take him?
Not a chance.
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages in Baywood. Half the serfs knew beforehand and fled into the woods, but the rest were pressed into service. The Count says these are pansies, not...
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us, and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see 2 possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pontar Valley. Temeria, Kedwin and Edirn have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Edirn are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
But we'll have to make do with them. We'll put them out front, let the cavalry run them over. Maybe it'll lose.
Tournaments.
Can we start the tourney?
Ready?
What are the rules?
2 adversaries fight until one of them yields.
That's it?
The loser is out of the tourney. Ready?
Who will I be fighting?
Your opponents will be Gwydion, Rendag, and Boran. Interested to know who they are?
Who's Gwydion?
One of the top fencers in the Kedweni army.
Who's Rendag?
A very experienced soldier. He's fought in all of Henselt's campaigns for the past 20 years.
Tell me about Boran.
Boran's famous for his courage. He fears nothing and no one.
Their names are enough.
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Witcher Geralt of Rivia will now fight the Honourable Gwydion. I yield. Witcher Geralt wins!
I don't get it.
You won. Let me...
All right.
Everything fine? Great.
Tournaments. Now that's a...
Can we continue the...
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin. Geralt of Rivia will now take on the fearless Boran.
Anyone know what it's all about?
I yield!
Witcher Geralt wins!
Is there not a single fucking soul in Kedwen able to beat the Witcher? Dung-filled cowards, all of you!
Apparently not in Kedwin. But in Temeria, perhaps. I'll give it a shot.
That could be interesting. If you win, I'll double the reward.
The Witcher's challenger this time will be Vess, a maiden serving in an elite unit of the Temerian army.
I surrender!
A few more like him and I could conquer half the world. Give him the prize! He's earned it!
The king wanted a spectacle and he got it. A shame the result was so predictable.
Witches are not invincible.
Seems this one is. But you were brave nonetheless.
She fought harder than all the Kedweni soldiers combined.
You're very kind.
Wasn't so kind in the arena.
He took me seriously.
That's true.
Thanks for not giving me a handicap. I'm going back to my camp. Visit me if you want.
Women. Here's your praise. I need to get back to my business.
Thanks.
Watch the fuck out!
Dumbass.
Still looking for coins. What else am I to do? This mist's driving me crazy.
What do you want, Witcher?
There's a soldier by the inn selling scraps from Sabrina's execution site.
I know. The damn quartermaster. This business of his muddles the minds of the soldiers. Suddenly, everyone believes a splinter in your pocket'll protect you in battle. Half-wits.
After what happened here 3 years ago, it's no surprise they're terrified.
I'll tell you one thing, Witcher. In combat, I can count on my shield, my armor, and my comrades, if they still live. Many of those boys will die in Vergen, even with their pockets stuffed with mystical splinters that cost a silver piece each. I want them to be afraid. When steel hits steel, I want them to be alert, damn it. If they're dumb and put their trust in rusty nails and ashes, they won't have a hope in hell.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Wish I could have, but only the 5th Company was sent there. She deserved it. What she did to the boys. Believe me, I've seen a lot of monstrosities in my life. My brother died during a coup in Rhind when a mage boiled the blood in his veins. Also, I once saw a soldier raping a dead elf woman. But 3 years ago, people melted like lead. Something you can't forget, Witcher.
The soldiers you were looking for, they got held up for a while at Sabrina's circle.
Ah, the idiots! To be duped by witchcraft and superstitions. I'll put them to scrubbing the latrines indefinitely. But I thank you for bringing them back. Your reward, as promised.
I heard there's a man living outside the camp known as the Visionary. Ever met him?
The soldiers talk about him, but I've never seen him. If I ever do, he'll regret that he fooled my people with all those superstitions.
So long.
I'm done with this
Bit scared of going against the sea. The enemy have fed you their propaganda.
Fucking fog.
Watch the fuck out!
The whole camp's gone berserk looking for the coins.
A rebel
Grown
and
lads with their
troublemaker
arses in the air.
is not of the human kind.
I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Well, I can't pay you, so just give it up.
Ha! You're pressing your luck.
Maybe it's because my services are worth no less than camphor resin.
Out of my sight before I lose my patience!
You never asked why I needed the powder.
Why then?
For the exorcisms that'll release your king from his curse.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. Can you make anything out of these notes, sorcerer?
Where did you get them?
Unimportant.
And you've no notion what's in them?
Wouldn't be asking if I did.
They describe a very dangerous ritual, practically pure necromancy. The sort that gets you burned at the stake.
Be specific. What kind of ritual?
One to summon the soul of an evil man. A man evil enough to wander the world after death. Souls of this kind gladly enter into covenants in the hope of being sent into the beyond.
Why would anyone want to deal with evil?
The possible reasons are many. You'll always find people willing to sell their souls in exchange for something valuable to them. I'll gladly buy the scroll.
I thought necromancy was forbidden.
Oh, it is, but I'm an avid collector of manuscripts containing forbidden knowledge.
I think I'll keep it. Maybe I can become a collector myself.
She is an homunculus, conceived by the sorceresses Philippa Eilhart and Sabrina Glevisic. From Mandrake, Seaman, and Brimstone in the...
Relics, artifact.
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. If kissing...
Do you remember the curse that Sabrina placed on the king?
When they set the stake on fire, she shouted something to the king. His face went red, but I couldn't hear very well. She probably foretold his syphilis. A gruesome death.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Yahon killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
You know Yahon?
Never heard of him. Where'd you get the idea that I know him?
Where is Yahon's spear now?
I don't know. Besides which, it's none of your concern. I simply won't talk about that.
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, and an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
So long.
Greetings.
Okay, folks, that's all unfortunately for this episode. Stay tuned for more.